Welcome back to the morning, noon, and night show. Now, every Sunday, one of the delights of the New York Times for me is the Sunday Style section, and I'm joined now by one of its feature writers, Allen Salkin. Thank you so much for coming down.
Morning, Olivia.
Good morning. Okay, so the Sunday Styles is sort of an irreverent, fashionable mix. Can you tell me what it is? And your articles don't even deal with fashion.
I think of the Sunday Style section as the sociology section. I mean, I don't know anything about fashion or style, but I try to act like Gawker, that wonderful media gossip site, called me the Christian Amanpour of the Sunday Style section. I love that title.
That is a huge compliment.
I know, for them. So I just like to delve into cultures, whether it be share houses in the Hamptons or the life of a cartoonist in France, and report on them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So your articles are these kind of hysterically accurate commentary on, absurd social behavior. This week in the Thursday Styles, I read a funny story. What are women up to with eating meat?
Well, I found that some women have decided that the salad is not the way to go when you're out on a date, that you should order a hamburger or a steak, because there's something about being a burger girl that connotes a certain low maintenance, but a gusto for life. And also, if you're thin, you can show that you're not anorexic. Oh, I can eat a burger, even if you're purging before and after the meal. The illusion. One thing that was interesting about the story is the amount of mail I got from feminist and pro-vegetarian people complaining that I was somehow advocating that women participate in factory farms and 1950s images of women, and I was just reporting on what some people are doing, and I might think it's as crazy as they think.
No, but this is a trend I've noticed. I definitely know, I don't eat meat, but I've definitely known girls who want to, think it's a sexy thing to do to order a steak. How do you, decide this is what you're going to write about, and where do you get these stories that sort of hit on these accurate sociological absurdities?
I think that the biggest way I get my stories is I have a big jacuzzi bathtub in my apartment. I live on the Lower East Side in a walk-up tenement, but I spent a fortune on a bathtub. And I sit in there and I let my mind wander in the morning when I should really be going to work, and things just pop in, and
people just pop in the tub, or things ideas
very,
pop
very
in?
rarely do other people pop in, but they're always welcome, and go to my website and write me an email and I'll tell you how to get in there. But no, you go to parties, people tell you stuff, they hear you work for the Sunday Style section, they try to throw ideas, and usually they don't work. Mm-hmm. But somehow stuff just adds up, and I think that is what, if I have any talent, I think it's for that, seeing like 5 minutes before other people what's happening. And it just sort of, because I give myself the time to do it, just pops in, and a week later, somebody else might say, "Oh yeah, that's a trend," but I can see it just before somebody else.
Yeah, you're on the
maybe. I'd like to think.
On the upswing of the curve. No, I think so. That's why I was excited to speak with you. One of the articles you wrote this summer that made a big splash was this, and I think you broke this story. This is a classic example of the craziness going on with these summer share stories, because now it's on VH1, it's on E, you see all this stuff. What's going on with the share houses?
Well, the story I wrote was about a certain group of men who were in their sort of mid-40s and older, who are still living the crazy share house life that you would have thought they should have left behind maybe when they were about 25. Mm-hmm. And this involves, being in bands that play at Stephen Talkhouse, or going to keg parties all night long. I mean, in my house in Amagansett, there's people living like this, and I just. Also, these guys are like, it's sort of sad because they're still thinking they're going to go to a party and they're going to meet that hot girl that they met at the frat party in college, and somehow that instant chemistry is going to somehow morph them into some adult life of marriage and happiness and children, and it's all going to somehow magically happen, even though it hasn't happened at the last 20 years worth of parties. Right. And somehow they're still there at 4 a.m. hoping somehow it's going to be different. And this is happening, people have this image of the Hamptons, of guys in straw hats and women that dress like you at wonderful events, very nicely, at charity events and all that. But there's a sort of underbelly of these hard partying people who really can't let it go.
Yeah.
And it can be sad.
The diehards. Okay, so
None of them are watching Plum TV, though.
Hey.
They all have hangovers.
That's true, but we replay.
Okay,
Twice
good.
it's the morning, noon, and night. So what's up next? Can you give us a sneak peek?
I will not tell you what I'm working on next, but it's going to be really good. But no.
No? No, any stories you're dying to write that you can share? Or maybe any Hamptons stories you'd like to pick up on?
It's a good question. I don't know. You know, it's funny. They just sort of pop in, and then I don't want to get. I have a few things that I'm watching, you know, but.
All right. We'll let you think about it. Thank you so much for coming down.
It's my pleasure.
Really
Thanks for having me.
appreciate it. All right. So we've got great artists, we've got great writers, we've also got great musicians out in the Hamptons.